Little brother and sister. Once there were two brothers, a boy and a girl, who were mother of a fathers. Her father had remarried. One day, the little brother said to his little sister, "Since Mom died, we have had no moment of happiness. Our stepmother strikes us every day and we eat only breadcrumbs. We should go and run the world." They walked all day. At night they came to a forest. They were so tired that they snuggled into the hollow of a tree and fell asleep. When they awoke the next day, said the little brother, "I'm thirsty, little sister. I think I heard a source close by." Together they started looking for the source. But his evil stepmother was a sorceress and he had followed them. In order to get revenge, he had thrown enchanted herbs in every source. Although the girl tried to avoid it, she heard the sources talking. Her brother ended up drinking and became a roe deer. The little sister burst into tears over her poor little brother, and the poor roe wept too. "Do not be careful, my dear buck, I will not part with you," said the child. The little sister took off her gold ribbon and made a necklace with it to the roe deer. Then he plucked some reeds and wove a rope with them that tied the animal and took him with him into a forest. After a long time, they finally reached an uninhabited house. "Here we can stop and live," said the little sister. Then the girl searched for moss so she could rest the roe, and every morning she would come out, take root, wild fruits and nuts, and also pick up fresh herbs that the roe ate in her hand. At night the girl rested her head on the back of the roe, which served as carpet, and slept sweetly. They spent some time in this place, but a day came when the king of that country had a game of hunting in the forest, which resounded with the toccatars of the horns, the barking of the dogs and the joyful cries of the hunters. The roe heard all that noise and felt not to be around. "Ah," he said to his little sister, "let me go to the hunt, I cannot resign myself to being here." And he begged her so much that she gave in at last. "Look," he said, "do not stop going back to the night, I'll close the doors so the hunters do not come in, and to get to know you, you say when you call, 'It's me, little sister, open, my little heart.' If you do not say that, I will not open the door." The roe threw himself out of the house, very happy and glad to enjoy the outdoors. The king and his hunters saw the beautiful beast, and ran in pursuit without reaching him. As soon as it began to grow dark, he ran into the house and called out, "It's me, my dear little sister, open my little heart." He opened the door, entered the house, and slept all night in his soft bed. The next day the game began again, and when the roe heard the sound of the horns again and the noise of the hunters, he could rest no more, and said, "Holy Mary, open me, I must go out." The little sister opened the door, saying, "Do not stop coming to the night and saying what you already know." When the king and the hunters saw the roebuck with his golden collar, they all followed him. The hunters managed to encircle him in the late afternoon and one of them struck him lightly on the paw and barely escaped. A hunter slid behind his tracks to the little house where he heard him say, "It's me, my dear little sister, open me, my little heart." And he saw that the door was being opened, and they closed at once. The hunter memorized these words, went to the king and told him what he had seen and heard. The king said, "Tomorrow the hunting will continue, too." The little sister was very frightened when she saw the wounded roe return. But the wound was so slight that the next day the roe returned to the hunt. The king hardly saw him. He said to the hunters, "Keep him till night, but do not hurt him." As soon as the sun set, the king said to the hunter, "Come with me and show me the house." When they reached the door, he called and said, "It's me, my dear little sister, open me, my little heart." The door opened and the king entered. There he found the most beautiful young woman he had ever seen. The girl was afraid when she saw that instead of the rower king came in. But the king looked at her gently and said, "Will you come with me to my palace and be my wife?" "Oh yeah," replied the girl, "the more I need the roe to come with me, I cannot part with him." The king said, "I will remain at your side while you live, and you will not lack anything." At that moment the deer came in, jumping. His little sister tied him with the rope of reeds, took the rope in his hand, and went out with him from the house. The king took the girl to her palace, where the wedding was held. The little sister became queen and the roe was very well taken care of and jumped and ran through the garden of the palace. When the evil stepmother knew that the little brothers were so happy and lived with so much prosperity, she wakes up,